brought me straight to this very famous video that's on the internet.
Oh, no.
It's on YouTube, and it's called The Hot Crazy Matrix.
Yep. 10 million
And
views. 10 million views.
I think this video has some profound fallacies and some profound ugly truths.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'd like to do is put this video on right now and talk about it with you for a little bit, because I think your book talks about this and has some important insight into this situation. So here is this gentleman talking about the hot, crazy matrix.
And again, I reiterate, 10 million views on this.
Right. This is a phenomenon with spin-offs.
Okay, so this is the universal hot crazy matrix. It's everything a young man needs to know about women. I've developed this on my own over 46 years of living on the earth. So this is how it works. You have your crazy axis and your hot axis. Hot is, as usual, measured from 0 to 10. We're all familiar with that. Crazy is measured from 4 to 10 because, of course, there's no such thing as a woman who's not at least a 4 crazy. So you got 4 to 10. This is your hot crazy line right here. Very important that you keep in mind where the hot crazy line is. As a rule, this is your no-go zone. We do not hang around and date and marry women who are not, at least in our mind, a 5. So this is your no-go zone. You don't go here. We just rule this out. Life is better this way.
Well, I want to stop there. I think there's some profound truths here and some profound things that are very disturbing.
Go ahead.
First of all, there's the ranking of people 1 to 10. And as we alluded to, standards of beauty can change and can vary. But there's this general trend. Now, what does one find beautiful? And I think there's something horribly cruel here that he says. That somebody less than a 5 doesn't deserve a relationship. I think this is horrible. Now, if we're going to be fair, if this is a bell-shaped distribution, 5 is average. So he's saying here that anyone less than 5, he's saying half of the population, or if it's women in particular here, that half the women out there are not dateable. And I think this is so sad, and conveys this perception that women may have that leads to so many things, including the plastic surgeries, including the eating disorders, and probably suicides. And I thought that when you talk about the essence of a person, not depending on their looks at all, what would a blind person appreciate? I thought that was a real good way, Jerry, and I thought it was a highlight of your book to draw attention to this fallacy and this concept that many people believe.
It is cruel. And I'll echo back to high school that there are the jocks who were, these are people that later in high school reunions, when their lives had decompensated.
Peaked.
Oh, yeah, they lived for high school. They would sit in the lunchroom, and as the women would exit with their trays, they would bark out ratings.
Right,
They'd be like, 1 to 10 kind of thing. And when it got down to low, they would say, and this happened, you skag, get out of here. You skag, get out of here. Now,
so hurtful.
People like that, the bullies, I mean, those are the kind of people that perhaps later in life want to be seen with a beautiful woman because they think that makes them more in some people's eyes. It doesn't make, I doubt when you see a man with a beautiful woman, you think, oh, I think more of him. It doesn't mean anything to me, any more than seeing a beautiful sunset. It's like, okay, good for you or not. It doesn't mean she's going to love him more or love him better, or it's a functional relationship, or they're happy, or they're sexually compatible, or recreationally compatible, or spiritually compatible. It doesn't mean anything. It just means people will go, oh, well, that woman's kind of attractive. Yes, it's cruel. And yes, it's sad. And yes, it's being judgmental. And one of the things which mitigate against a good relationship is being too prideful. Because if you're prideful, you're going to be selfish. You're not going to be sacrificial. And one of the important points I want to make is to have a good relationship, you have to be able to be sacrificial.